Hello, welcome to Joel's Gnomes. I am Hans, I'm one of Joel's Gnomes, and today we'll be talking about how plants reproduce. Well, you kids have been asking about it, and guess you're old enough to find out. So you see, when a plant wants to make another plant, they send out signals, and then a pollinator comes by, and it dives deep down in the middle for the sweet stuff. And does anybody else want to feel this for me?
Oh, pick me! Pick me!
Oh, Freya, save us. Touko, what are you wearing?
Hey, no kink shame. What happens at the Chelsea Flower Show stays at the Chelsea Flower Show.
Dude, we're fine with your fetishes, no problem. It's just, we hate yellow flowers. Anybody else? Angus?
Well, 6? Oh, that's easy. First you take a wee bath, top and tails, and then you get a huge fatty, and then you lift up your kilt.
No, it's plant sex. Plant sex. How about Francis?
What? Explain to humans how plants have sex? I wouldn't touch that with my 10-foot...
Okay, all right. That's all right. Find somebody else. Jeez. Onan?
Huh? Kind of busy right now.
Sorry. Okay, well, guess it's me then. So, let's get to it. Okay, well, flowering plants are called angiosperms. Now, angiosperms appeared in the fossil record about 140 to 170 million years ago. Before then, it was basically cycads, mosses, and ferns that reproduced by spores, and we'll cover that in a later video. But angiosperm comes from the two Greek root words angion, which means casing, and sperma, which means seed or sperm. And so that means that angiosperms are plants that have their information or their seeds covered with a protective covering, which are seeds. Now, flowers are the sexual organs or the genitals of a plant, and they have absolutely no shame whatsoever in flaunting their wares and trying to reproduce. They might use color, they might use scent. In humans, this might be when males use Axe body spray or a convertible to reproduce, or when females they might use Chanel No. 5, or when they make prolonged eye contact with you, and they might use the phrase, "Wow, that's fascinating. Tell me more. How about back at your place?" Okay, our graphic gnomes came up with this visual that's not too abysmal. It's a cross-section of a simple flower. Hot, hot, hot. Now, over 170 million years, sex can get kind of boring, and plants have come up with a whole lot of ways in order to reproduce, some of which are pretty darn kinky. There are even some plants, flowers, that will trap the pollinator inside the plant and keep it trapped there for hours or so until it makes sure that it is covered in pollen, and then it will let it go. But what we're going to show you today is just the basics of plant reproduction. So, plants or flowers are basically male and female. The female parts of a plant consist of the outer parts. This is the pistil. That's where the sperm or information travels down. This is the stigma, which is sticky and it will attract the sperm or pollen. And the inside parts of a female plant are the ovules, or the ovary, where the eggs or seeds are located. Male parts of the plant are the stamens, which are here. These are basically the willies of a plant, and they end with bits that contain the sperm or the pollen. And plants are divided into different species by how many willies that they have. So, like for instance, a canna has one pistil and one stamen. The gentleman that came up with this was Carl Linnaeus back in the 1800s, and we'll have a different video on him because it's a very fascinating story. So, anyway, here are the basics of plant reproduction. So, the petals are the main attractor to most pollinators. There's also the nectar, which is down here, which is below where the pollen is. So the pollinator has to go down past the pollen collection to get to the sweet stuff. So the plant sends out signals, the scent and sight. It says, hey, I am ready for some good stuff. And the pollinator comes by and he says, well, hey, baby, don't mind if I do. And he just flies down in there and gets down into the nice, sweet stuff and gets what it needs. As it leaves, it gets a big old facial of pollen and it flies off into the next flower. See you later, baby. So then it comes to the next flower. Well, hey, lonely? And the pollinator says, well, ain't you a show dog? And it flies down and it does the same thing. As it flies down, it goes past the stigma, and if the plants are compatible, they will fertilize. So there are chemicals in the stigma that will recognize when a similar kind of pollen from another plant will be good for fertilization. So the information, the sperm, the pollen, goes down through it, the pistil, down into the ovules, the eggs. This is where the ovary is, and it will fertilize them. And eventually, over time, the petals will fall off, either during old age, or if it gets fertilized. And when it gets fertilized and the petals fall off, that is the flower's way of saying, hey, that was wonderful. Why don't you have a beer and I'm going to take a shower? So, over time, the eggs will fertilize and grow. In flowering or fruiting plants, the fruit will expand, and that will provide nutrition for the growing seeds. Pollinators can be mammals, they can be birds, they can be even the wind. So if your relatives have a pollen allergy, just tell them that they are allergic to plant sperm. All right. So any questions? Any questions? Well, kids, that's basically the basics. So, well, hey, Mr. Pollinator, how's it going? Well, she was pretty good, but you know what? I'm off to some more, because, you know, a pollinator's got to do what a pollinator's got to do. Don't hate the player, hate the game, because, baby, So, basically, that's how angiosperms, or flowering plants, reproduce. Once again, I am Hans. I'm one of Joel's gnomes, and we thank you so very, very much for watching. Nice ovary. So, if you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button, And if you've already subscribed, please do hit the like button. So, until next time, we will, oh, hey Touko. Oh, take that off. Yeah. Give it to me. All right, whatever. Yellow flowers.